Hey busy moms, welcome to your 4th week of lessons here. As promised, no new notes this week, so we're continuing just to really feel comfortable with the notes in our treble clef C through G, bass clef C through F, middle C position there. But I am going to introduce you to some new symbols and some new vocab this week. So at the top of the page, you will see what is called a tie. And a tie can be a little bit confusing. It's often confused with a slur because they look very similar. It's a curved line just like a slur is, but it's going to connect one note to the very same note following the note. So it'll be a note that's the same line or the same space. And what you're going to do is you're going to play that note once, but hold it for the combined value of the two notes. So you can see the example at the top of your sheet there, a half note tied to a quarter note. I play the note once, but I hold it for 2 beats, the half note, plus 1 beat, the quarter note. So for a total of 3 beats. So it would sound like this. 1, 2, 1. Or you could count 1, 2, 3. Whatever helps you keep it accurate rhythm there. I've shown an example of some slurs compared to ties in a piece of music so that you can kind of see the difference there. A slur is going to be over 2 or more different notes. A tie is going to connect a repeated note, an exact same note there. So you can see the tie connects that note. That's the very same note there. So hopefully seeing it laid out helps it make a little bit more sense. We're also going to be talking about pedaling this week, these things at the bottom of our piano here. Most pianos have 2 pedals. Some pianos even have 3. Mine has 3. The damper pedal is the one that you're going to use the most often, and that's the pedal that's all the way on the right. And when you press it down, you can see inside my piano here that it takes the felts, the dampers up off the strings. So even when I'm not playing the note anymore, the sound is continuing there. So even when I take my fingers off the keys, if I'm still holding the pedal down, the felts are off the strings and the sound is continuing. The pedal mark, you can see what that looks like there. You press the pedal down when you have that little line going down, and then you hold it for the duration of that line, and then you lift it when the pedal is going up there. My foot, I'm going to play the damper pedal with my right foot. Keep my heel planted on the ground the entire time and just use the front of my foot to operate the pedal. If I start to use this kind of a motion, that's going to give the piece a really choppy sound. So you want to keep the heel planted and just use the front of the foot to operate the pedal. 2 more symbols. An ottava, which is an octave sign, that 8V8 there, and that just means if it's written above the music, that means you're going to move up an octave. So if I have a piece of music written in treble C position here, middle C position, and I have an ottava above it, I'm going to actually jump up 8 notes or an octave and play on the next highest C. If it's written below the staff, I'm going to come down an octave and move to the next lowest C there. And then one last symbol, the accent mark, which is that sideways V. And an accent mark means that you're going to play the note louder than the other notes around it. Now, to do this, you don't want to tighten up the hand or think that you have to press it with more force. That's not how we do it. And a lot of students, when they have an accent mark, will tighten everything up. All that you have to do is strike the key more quickly. The quicker I strike the key, the louder it's going to sound. If I strike my key slowly, it's going to sound softer. And you can use wrist and arm weight to kind of drop into an accented note, and that's going to help make it louder as well. So when you look over at our technique piece this week, it's called octave jumps. We have some ottavas in here. So I start in middle C position, and then I have my ottava sign above my middle C position. So that means I'm actually going to jump up here to the next highest C and play those notes. In the bass clef, same thing, except it's written below the note. So I'm going to jump down and play those group of notes on the next lowest C there. I have a tie on my final 2 notes there. So I'm going to play that C once. 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Because of the tied note there. As you're jumping between octaves, Something that is nice to do that adds kind of a musical touch to it is to do a little bit of a wrist lift. So if I pretend that I have a string attached to this wrist that someone's pulling on, so I'm leading with my wrist as I move up an octave. So, and that just adds some musicality to your playing. If you ever go and see a concert pianist playing, you'll notice they don't play like this. They move their wrists a lot, their arms a lot. It's very graceful. It's sort of like watching a dance. So this is one way we can start to think about playing very musically here. And then the pedaling that we have in this piece is actually going to help you with those hand position changes. So I have a dotted half note here that I'm holding in measure 3. I don't need to, because I have the pedal down, I don't need to keep my finger on that middle C key for the entire 3 beats, because the pedal is going to keep holding the sound even when I remove my hand. So I can play that note and start to move my hand up an octave so that it's ready to go right away on beat 1, and there's no pausing as I'm finding my new hand position there. So use the pedal to sort of get ahead, move ahead, think ahead, and jump up to the next hand position there. So here are your octave jumps.